Hello, YouTube. I'm Vince White. I'm an employment attorney. On this channel, we answer publicly posted questions from YouTube users, getting folks the answer they need from an employment attorney. We have a question here from YouTube user Derek, who asked us, how do you think the EEOC or Labor Board would respond if I were to present a video of my old employer discriminating against another employee with a disability? I'm not sure how to structure my rebuttal because I have so much solid evidence. Derek, first and foremost, we have a video on this channel about how to structure your rebuttal. I believe it might be called Rebuttal Writing 101, but there's actually a bunch of videos on the topic. If you have a video of, and I'm going to call it unrelated discrimination. And so let's dig into that phrase because that's a loaded phrase. It happened to someone else, so it didn't happen to you. So it is not direct proof of what happened to you, right? Doesn't mean it's not useful evidence. It does mean it's not going to get the job done by itself. It's not enough in and of itself, but you seem to know that. You actually said you have a bunch of solid evidence. That's not an issue for you. But we need to think about it as supporting proof, right? Incidental proof, off to the side proof. Stuff that says, hey, they do have a pattern of doing this. And I don't know if you also experience disability discrimination or if you experience some other kind, but if they have a pattern of disability discrimination, this is even better, right? If your claim is for national origin discrimination, I have no idea what it could be for, obviously, and you're saying, well, they also discriminate on the basis of disability, is that still a piece of evidence? Yeah, sort of, kind of, because it shows they're kind of not playing with the full HR, like, IQ here, right? But it's not going to be the same as if you're saying, hey, I'm the victim of disability discrimination, and here's evidence of them doing the exact same thing to someone else, right? That's more of a pattern. That's more valuable. It's still not quite as valuable, obviously, as being able to prove a piece of evidence that shows, that could lead someone to believe that what you're saying actually happened to you actually happened, right? That there's different levels of evidence, and that's what we're talking about here. So yeah, it has value. How would they respond? They would respond with, okay, this has some evidentiary value. That's good. That is a positive response. You've displayed a piece of evidence that in some way is useful in making the finders of fact believe that your version of events happened. That's a good thing. It's not a great thing. It's good, but it's not going to get the job done in and of itself. And you know that clearly because you say you have a lot of evidence, right? And that's something we need to keep our eye on in these cases. What's the value of different pieces of evidence, right? People get stuck on curious things that they think are these golden pieces of evidence, right? And it's like, sometimes an attorney will be like, what do you think that shows? It's not useless. It is useful, but how useful something is relative, right? It is not something to hang our hat on. And Derek, this is not really for you because you seem like you really get it. But there's people out there who are going to be like, and I have these conversations, oh, this dude's Porsche is purple, so clearly he discriminates. And you're like, you have a case. That ain't it. What are you talking about? You have evidence. And then Derek, this is not you. But this hypothetical person's like, you have evidence. You have very real evidence of very bad things being done. Why are you talking about this Porsche? What do you think the Porsche? Well, the Nazis made Porsche. That's not the claim, my friend. What? What? There's a lot of people in the world who own Porsches. Some of them are perhaps people who survived or the descendants of people who survived the Holocaust. Owning a Porsche is not definitely proof of anti-Semitism. That is not how the world works. Time marches on, right? Is it useful evidence? Probably not even really that. Now, if he's like, I love what Porsche stood for in the old days when they were being founded, well, that's a piece of evidence. That's a very different thing, right? That's a big statement. We can probably use that as a big piece of evidence, right? That might be really useful in the case. So I get Derek, what I'm talking around here, and I'm using really silly examples, and I know that, and I know that you're way above the level of discourse that I'm currently engaged in here, but I think it's valuable for some other people. We need to think about the relative value of evidence, and perhaps even make like a tier list, like this is my slightly useful evidence, right? This is my kind of useful evidence. This is my fairly useful evidence. This is my golden pyramid of amazing, I'm definitely going to win my case and make 7 figures evidence, right? That there's different levels. And as you're presenting it, and this is something that I would expect attorneys to do, I don't really expect non-attorneys to do, but I threw in that word pyramid because I like to think, and when I talk to other attorneys about this, and I kind of urge them how to get started writing, I like to think in pyramids of evidence. You got a bunch of foundational stuff, and that kind of gets the human brain saying, hey, there might be something here. None of this is necessarily proof in and of itself, but I have questions looking at this foundational thing that you've built, that you've drafted here of useful and slightly useful evidence. You put it all together. I'm not sure of anything yet, but we have questions. And then you start layering in the slightly more useful, the more useful evidence, right? You've built this pyramid, this foundation. And then, ba-bam! Your golden pyramid, the capper, the topper, the very top of your pyramid, right? It goes in there, and the human brain loves to be proven correct. So you got a confirmation bias. Like, I knew it! I knew it! We've been reading this for 3 paragraphs now, and I knew these people were bad people. And now look, we've all brought together with the pyramid topper, and I get to feel smart. I get to feel smart because I knew what was coming. I knew these were bad people. And we're human beings, so that happens to all of us if we structure the argument correctly. Right? Is that easy to do? No. Will people routinely believe they have done that? And when you read it, you say, I don't buy anything you said here. You seem like an asshole. Yes, it is an art form. It is difficult. If everyone could do it, everyone would. People don't generally do this. This is not something I invented, obviously. I have a special language that I put my own vocabulary on it, but like this is not my clever idea. This is a common technique. It's one of many. Just one that I favor. And I put my own verbiage on it because it seems like people can get it a little easier when I put it in my own stupid lingo. Again, Derek, not that you need my stupid lingo. I'm actually talking about attorneys that we train who are young and don't know how to do this stuff, right? I'm not calling them stupid either, but I'm saying they're new to it, and my stupid words make it super simple sometimes. At least I think so, although perhaps they would tell you that I'm an idiot and that I've not taught them anything. Who knows? But that being said, this seems to be useful, and so I hope this helps. Good luck, everybody. Go get paid. Like, subscribe, comment down below. Share the video. Apparently, I'm supposed to have been telling you to share the videos. Share the videos places. You're not going to do that, but it would help the channel if you did. Take care.